Hi guys, my name is Sampras and I'm an educator here at Ripley's Aquarium. Today we'll be talking about the creatures that call Great Lakes home. HOMES is a nifty acronym many geography students use to memorize the name of the Great Lakes: Huron, Ontario, Michigan, Erie, and Superior. Also known as North America's inland seas, these lakes contain 1/5 of the world's fresh surface water. Although a fifth doesn't sound like much, the Great Lakes hold a whopping 3 quadrillion liters, and if we were to take out this volume and pour it over North America, we would actually be able to submerge the entire United States under 3 meters of water. Let's go over a brief history of the Great Lakes. 10,000 years ago, when the last ice age was coming to an end, the planet started warming and the ice blanket began its retreat. As a result, the glacier that once blanketed North America carved enormous basins that filled with water as the ice melted, forming the world's largest area of freshwater lakes. With more time, channels began to develop between the lakes, and water would flow in an ongoing exchange that now helps provide clean, accessible drinking water to 40 million people across Canada and the United States. A single drop of water on average takes about 200 years to reach from Lake Superior through the Great Lakes system to the Atlantic Ocean. Not only do the Great Lakes serve as an abundant drinking reservoir for humans and other living things, this vast body of water spans through a variety of habitats, including aquatic, forests, marsh, and wetlands. The diverse topography, climate, and soil across the Great Lakes make it one of the most ecologically diverse ecosystems, responsible for supporting over 3,500 species of plants and animals. Some of these animals live in one of the first habitats you'll see as you explore the aquarium. Let's highlight a few. The lake sturgeon and the paddlefish are the stars of our Great Lakes exhibit. They may look similar to sharks, but are more closely related to other bony fish. They do, however, share adaptations with sharks, such as body shape, a cartilaginous skeleton, and using electroreception to detect prey. These characteristics help them to survive and is one of the reasons they have remained unchanged for over 200 million years. My personal favorite are the lake sturgeon. These living fossils are simply astounding with their prehistoric look and can grow up to 3 meters long. Wow! Sturgeon's bodies are covered with highly modified ganoid scales, the largest being the lines of scutes they sport on their sides to protect them from predators. Similar to sharks, the smaller scales that cover the smooth-looking parts of the sturgeon stick out slightly and give the animal a rough texture. If you were to touch these animals, you would notice one direction is smooth, while the opposite direction is quite rough. This adaptation allows for sturgeons and sharks to move quickly and quietly through the water. Take a look in our Great Lakes habitat. Do you see the animal with the very long snout? Have you found them yet? That's the American paddlefish. You'll sometimes see its mouth gaping wide open, which is how they feed. Although these peculiar-looking creatures live happily in our Great Lakes habitat, sadly, this species was declared extirpated from Canada in 1987, as they haven't been seen in these waters since before 1913 due to overfishing and habitat loss. Extirpation means that since that time, they have been locally extinct. In this case, this means in the Great Lakes and Canada as a whole. However, you can still find them throughout the Mississippi River system in the US. They typically live to 30 years old, with some reaching up to 50 years, and can grow up to 2 meters long. The paddlefish's large nose, called a rostrum, is their most striking feature. The rostrum often makes up a third of their body size and is covered with pores that are able to sense weak electrical impulses in the water. They use it to sense their favorite meal, zooplankton. Once their food has been located, the paddlefish will open their mouth as wide as they can and use gill rakers, which are comb-like structures that line the inside of the mouth, to filter their food from the water. You may wonder how we feed a filter feeder. Well, our husbandry team will mix their food, which is a highly nutritious blended fish protein, with water from the habitat in a container. They then use a special ladle attached to a long PVC pipe to feed the paddlefish. The fish don't always catch every single piece of food, but not to worry, as the other fish in the habitat will eat the leftovers. Sturgeon will use their barbels, those things that look like whiskers, to sense the food and suck it up into their mouth. The other fish in the habitat eat a variety of fish chopped into small, bite-sized pieces. The sturgeon are the friendliest of these fish. In fact, they are the only animals in this exhibit that get hand-fed by our husbandry team. Unfortunately, biodiversity in the Great Lakes has been dropping, with extinction rates in the last few hundred years estimated to be up to 1,000 times greater than you would see without humans. There are many things that can be harming these habitats. Think about how many cities are so close to the Great Lakes. One significant negative impact on this habitat is the concern of invasive species being introduced into the water. Invasive species are animals who are brought into a new habitat, typically influenced by human actions and results in negative influences brought onto the natural ecosystem. In Lake Ontario alone, there are at least 180 non-native species. Some are featured in various habitats around our aquarium, such as the sea lamprey, alewives, goldfish, and this turtle shell from a red-eared slider. Red-eared sliders are a species of turtle that are often kept as pets. As an invasive species, they outcompete native turtles for habitat and food, as well as transmit diseases. Lampreys are one of the more well-known invasive species. There are some native to the Great Lakes, however, the sea lamprey is invasive. Human development has allowed them to populate all 5 Great Lakes. They have eel-like bodies, a round mouth filled with teeth, and to top it all off, they suck blood from fish. Sea lampreys are only parasitic for 12 to 18 months of their approximate 6-year lifespan. The fish in the Great Lakes do not grow to the size of oceanic fish, which makes the wounds sea lampreys inflict quite lethal. One sea lamprey can harm 18 kilograms or 40 pounds of fish during their parasitic life stage. That is about the average weight of one kindergartner. The last invasive species we will mention today is suspected to be the first invasive species in Lake Ontario. The goldfish. Native to Asia, the common goldfish is a member of the carp family. Normally, they look like any other carps, gray and large, but they have been selectively bred for the fancier orange hue. Although historically, goldfish have been viewed as a sign of good luck, if you see these guys in our Great Lakes, that is a sign of bad luck for native fish and plants. Now, why is this the case? A goldfish size is not based on how big their habitat is, but rather how much food is available in their environment. Just like other invasive species, a goldfish has many characteristics that has allowed it to excel in the Great Lakes system. They are highly adaptable. Goldfish have the ability to tolerate a variety of temperature ranges and anoxic conditions, which is when there is little to no oxygen available. Goldfish are also willing to eat almost anything. With these two factors combined, the likelihood of them thriving in a new environment and outcompeting local species increases drastically. Goldfish can be introduced into a new natural habitat in 2 ways. 1, people releasing their pets, and 2, goldfish escaping outdoor enclosures such as backyard ponds. There are simple things we can do to help. Prevention is key. Please be responsible pet owners and do not release your pets into any natural habitats. Remember to do your research before you start caring for any animals, as you want to give them the best home possible. If you are unable to take care of your pet, try to rehome them or ask your local animal shelter what next steps to take. Keep in mind that the Great Lakes are not only a source relied on by humans, but a home for many other living things. We all want the Great Lakes ecosystem to be healthy and stable for future generations to enjoy, just as we have. But everyone must do their part in protecting and conserving this beautiful ecoregion. Thank you for listening and learning with me. Our Great Lakes habitat is fed daily, so make sure you drop by to see that in person. That's all from me here at Ripley's Aquarium of Canada. Best fishes!